Welcome back. Well, many school districts are starting the year off remotely, but some students are going back to the classroom.
So how do we make sure to keep our kids safe? Well, Dr. Alexis Orama with Christie Clinic is joining us for today's morning rounds to help us out with that. Good morning, doctor.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
We appreciate you this morning. Can you start out by telling us how we can keep those kiddos safe, especially during this pandemic?
So definitely, I think it's important to get in the habit of checking your child's temperature in the morning. The school will likely do that as well, but just getting them in kind of a morning ritual where you're checking and you could potentially catch something before you've made your way to the school building. I would go a step further and say, if there are any symptoms, there's a huge constellation of symptoms of COVID, but anything, runny nose, cough, congestion, sore throat, vomiting, body aches, anything that you've heard that could potentially be a COVID symptom, I think it's better to just err on the side of caution, keeping them home, for 72 hours or until symptoms resolve. I think that would just kind of prevent the spread of any potential illness, and not just COVID, just anything respiratory. If anything, it's taught us that, just prevention is everything, especially in school-age children.
Right, rather be safe than sorry, especially with what's going on.
Right.
So what about lunches?
So lunches, it's interesting because, lots of kids already have their lunch boxes and they're excited about them, and a brown paper bag isn't as fun. But one way you can incentivize the lunch, being in the brown paper bag is, while yes, the brown paper bag prevents, respiratory droplets settling on, hard surfaces, and prevents the spread of the infection that way, you could always take a brown paper bag outside, and it's great for children to be outside as much as possible. So when weather permits, you can take that brown paper bag outside and just, dispose of it that way, or, take it back into your own backpack. And it's just a better way for, again, to minimize the spread of droplets or things settling. Hand washing is another one. We cannot emphasize this one enough. Even pre-COVID, hand washing is major in children, especially grade school children who are pretty germy, wonderfully germy. But keeping those hands clean, I think it's really important to just get in the habit of hand washing before leaving, before meals, after restroom, when coming home, at the end of the school day. There's no such thing as too much hand washing, and you really want to emphasize 20 seconds, warm water. Some children, they're in a rush when it comes time to hand washing. So getting them to sing a song that they like, or the ABC, singing their ABCs, or Baby Shark, whatever the hit of the year is, the ABC's Baby Shark, the birthday song, something like that, even 2 times over, just to make sure that and believe it or not, I hear my own kids in the bathroom, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So just making that a habit, that you can never go wrong with that. So I think that's a really important thing to emphasize and to make fun, and not a punishment, or not, torture for the kids.
And doctor, personally, this time of the year, it comes, I guess fall rolls around, especially before harvest time. And during harvest time, my allergies start acting up, so I start getting a few of those symptoms. What are some of those symptoms that we should absolutely be keeping our kids home from school?
So it's tricky because some of these do overlap. Some of the parents know, usually by 2, we're kind of diagnosing seasonal allergies, because before that there are lots of colds and you can't really differentiate. But definitely fever. Fever is not a symptom of allergy, but any fever, I would say keep home. The congestion and little sniffles and even a scratchy throat can be difficult to differentiate. But any GI symptoms like nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, new rashes, typically, again, unless it's a localized rash where you can tell, maybe something touched the child and it's just in one area. Otherwise, and even checking your kid, if they say they have a sore throat, if they have any really red tonsils or pus in their tonsils, then you might want to make sure that something else is not going on. So again, err on the side of caution. It could be pretty tricky when you have so many symptoms that overlap with other acute illnesses. But definitely fever, GI problems, those are ones to avoid sending to school.
All right, doctor, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you this Tuesday.
Thank you. Have a great week.
You too.
You too. Adam's got your forecast after this. We'll be right back.